when it seemed like things were calming down and Lil Durk's legal team was ready to file a motion to dismiss a massive bombshell. Just dropped over 230 gigi of raw video and audio recordings have come to light some of this newly uncovered evidence. Links. Durk to A-second murder for hire scheme. If proven true, this new charge could push his sentence from life in prison to a possible death penalty. The situation has gotten so serious, even cooperating with the feds might not be enough to save him. Now, I feel like even if he snitch, he can't get up out of it. If they got him like that, I feel like even if he tell right now, he can't. What kind of secrets are buried in these revelations? Is this evidence even real? And the biggest question of all, could Lil Durk really be facing the electric chair soon? Let's break it down. This is the dark underbelly of Chicago's rap world. A brutal story of revenge, gang warfare, and a federal investigation that could take down a hip-hop empire. Lil Durk, real name Durk. Derek Banks was picked up in October 2024 in Florida, facing serious federal charges tied to a murder for hire plot targeting Quandarondo. But the real bombshell didn't drop until December 12th, 2024, during his detention hearing, when prosecutors claimed Durk might be linked to another hit, one that wasn't even charged, one that took place in Chicago, and may be connected to one of the most shocking gang executions in recent years. That second case, it's tied to the January the 27th, 2022 murder of Stephen Maca, 24-year-old, known as a top member of the Smashville crew, reportedly affiliated with the Gangster Disciples GD. Mac was gunned down in broad daylight outside the Youth Peace Center in Roseland, near 111th Street, a location meant to symbolize safety and reform. He was shot in the head and chest and pronounced dead at the hospital. A 40-year-old security guard was also caught in the crossfire, shot in the leg, but survived. 2 Chicago men, Anthony Montgomery Wilson, 24, and Preston Powell, 23, were arrested. In 2023, according to authorities, this was not a random act of violence. This was a PIDIT. So who paid for it? That's where it gets explosive. Newly unsealed federal documents say the money trail leads to Lil Durk himself. Why would Durk want Mac dead? According to the feds, it's revenge. Revenge for the death of Durk's brother, Dante Banks. Jur better known as D-Thang. D-Thang was shot and killed outside Club O in Harvey, Illinois, during the early morning of June 5, 2021. Multiple shooters were involved. Even a Harvey police officer was reportedly injured during the chaos. Now, the feds say Durk retaliated, allegedly offering money for the execution of those connected to D-Thang's death, and possibly putting a bounty on GDS in general, the Smashville crew, which Stephen Mac allegedly led, is believed by the FBI to have been involved in the ambush on D-Thang. So to Durk, Mac wasn't just a rival. He was a target, according to an affidavit filed in April 2023, which stayed sealed until December 11th, 2024, just one day before Durk's LA hearing. Durk financed Mac's death. It was signed by FBI Special Agent Thomas Callahan, and accuses Durk of essentially ordering hits against anyone repping GD. What's even more wild is the evidence. Federal agents say they connected Durk to Wilson and Powell through a paper trail of text messages, cell tower pings, confidential informants, and even social media. One message reportedly reads, "Did Durk give you that money?" which prosecutors say is direct proof of payment. And then there's the music. The feds are now pointing to lyrics from Durk's track, AAA High, released on February 22nd, 2022 as coded confessions. He raps, "My brother Dang Juice got killed, and I've been slow since, and gang gang. But we got back on they ass. I bet they know this." Prosecutors say this is Durk admitting to getting Revenge. It's a growing trend rap lyrics used as evidence in court. Critics argue it's a dangerous move, weaponizing art against artists, but prosecutors claim it's more than entertainment. It's a confession in disguise. And that's not all agents say. They have photos of Durk with Wilson, one of the alleged shooters. We don't know what those pictures show, but they're being used to strengthen the connection. Despite all this, as of April 27th, 2025, Durk has not been officially charged in Mac's case. According to the Chicago Tribune, the investigation is ongoing, but it's clear prosecutors are using the allegations to paint Durk as a menace in his LA murder for hire trial, even if there's no indictment yet. In court, Durk's attorney, Jonathan D. Brayman, clapped back saying, "That's other people. Our client has nothing to do with that." Brayman argued that prosecutors were trying to sabotage the LA case by dragging an unrelated, uncharged Chicago drama, but the damage was already done. During that December 12th, hearing assistant U.S. Attorney Ian Yanelo told the court that Durk's alleged involvement in Mac's killing, plus talk of bounties, shows a pattern of violence. Judge Patricia Donoghue agreed and denied Durk's $3 million bond. That means Lil Durk remains in federal custody, awaiting trial, and legal experts are raising eyebrows, questioning whether it's fair to bring up uncharged crimes in pre-trial arguments, because even if no charges exist, the accusations still carry weight and could cost a man his freedom. What kind of secrets are buried in these revelations? Is this evidence even real? And the biggest question of all, could Lil Durk really be facing the electric chair soon? Let's break it down. The shocking Chicago murder allegations for those who haven't been following the drama. Lil Durk, real name Durk Derek Banks, got picked up in October 2024 in Florida on serious federal charges tied to a murder for hire plot targeting, cuando rondobut during a detention hearing on December 12, 2024, federal prosecutors dropped a bombshell, claiming Durk might also be connected to a second uncharged hit in Chicago. This second case is tied to the January 27, 2022, murder of Stephen Macca, 24-year-old, who was reportedly a top member of the Smashville crew part of the Gangster Disciples. The way Mac was taken out was brutal. He was outside the Youth Peace Center in Roseland, on Owen Street, ironically, a place meant to be safe, when he was shot in the head and chest, headed at the hospital. A 40-year-old security guard was also hit in the leg during the chaos, but survived. Two men from Chicago, Anthony Montgomery, Wilson, 24, and Preston Powell, were arrested in 2023 for Max's murder. They were charged with conspiracy, and what authorities say was a murder for hire deal. But the question that stumped everyone was, who paid for the hit? Now, according to newly unsealed federal documents, prosecutors believe the money trail leads straight back to Durk. So what's the alleged motive? The feds claim that Durk ordered the hit as payback for the FOE June 2021 murder of his brother Dante Banks Jr., better known as Dathang, who was 32 at the time, was fatally shot outside Club O, a strip club in Harvey, Illinois, during the early hours of June 5th, 2021. It was a chaotic scene, with multiple shooters and even a police officer from Harvey ended up injured during a separate altercation. The new allegations are pulled from a warrant application filed in April 2023, which remained sealed until December 11th, 24. Conveniently, one day before Durk's LA detention hearing. In that application, the feds claimed that Durk offered money for hits against those responsible for his brother's death, and more broadly, put out a bounty on Gangster Disciples. The Smashville crew, the same group allegedly ran with, is believed by the FBI to have been involved in Dathang's murder, so Mac's death may have been Durk's revenge. The affidavit signed by FBI Special Agent Thomas Callahan accuses Durk of financing Mac's killing as retaliation, essentially placing a heightened NEGD member. What makes the allegations even crazier is the evidence. The feds say they've linked Durk to the shooters, Wilson and Powell, through a mix of text, messages, confidential informant cell phone records, and even social media posts. One specific message allegedly asks, "Did Durk give you that money?" which prosecutors believe confirms that payment was made. They've also pointed to lyrics from Durk's song Aha, released on February 22, 2022, as potential proof. In it, Durk raps, "My brother Dang just got killed and I've been slow since all gang, but we got back on they ass, I bet they know this." The government is taking those bars as a veiled confession that Durk ordered Max's murder as revenge for Dathang. This tactic using lyrics as evidence mirrors what's happening in Durk's Ella case, and it's raising serious concerns in the music industry. Critics argue that prosecutors are twisting creative expression into criminal confessions. On top of that, the FBI claims to have photos of Durk with Anthony Wilson, one of the alleged shooters, though the exact content of these pictures hasn't been released publicly. Still, as of April 27, 2025, Durk has not been formally charged in the Mac case, according to outlets like the Chicago Tribune. The investigation is active, but no indictment has been handed down. For now, prosecutors seem to be using the Mac allegations to paint Durk in a negative light. During his LA trial, not necessarily to press charges in Chicago, Durk's lawyer Jonathan Brayman denied all ties to Max's murder in the December 2024 hearing, saying, "That's other people. Our client has nothing to do with that." Braymont insists that prosecutors are poisoning the well in the LA case with unrelated, unproven claims from Chicago. But even without charges, the Chicago allegations have already caused major fallout. During the December 12, 2024, LA hearing assistant, U.S. Attorney Ian Yanello argued that Durk's suspected involvement in the Mac case, plus talk-off bounties, showed a pattern of violence. Judge Patricia Donahue agreed and denied Durk's request for a $3 million bond, meaning he'll remain behind bars while awaiting trial. Legal experts are questioning whether uncharged crime, like Mac's murder, should even be brought up in pre-trial proceedings. They warned that such claims can bias a judge even if they aren't tied to the current charges. The attack, it turns out, came from Durk's organization. Key individuals identified as co-conspirators traveled from Chicago to California the day before. The shooting, with flights paid for using an American Express card linked to Durk and F only. The family text messages between Durk and his co-conspirators also surfaced. In one, Durk allegedly warned a crew member, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with SICME." This message was likely meant to reduce the paper trail tying Durk directly to the hit. Further surveillance uncovered two white vehicles, a BMW and an Infiniti shadowing Rondo's Escalade around Los Angeles. These cars were later linked to Durk's co-conspirators who had flown in specifically to carry out the attack. The brazen gas station shooting didn't go unnoticed. Federal and the local authorities intensified surveillance on Durk and his associates. On October 24, 2024, 5 individuals connected to F and Chicago gangs were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire. As the FBI closed in, Durk allegedly tried to flee the country. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, he booked 3 separate international flights within hours of his associates' arrests to Dubai, Switzerland, and Italy, countries known for complicating extradition. But the FBI moved fast. Durk was apprehended before boarding any flight, locking him into what could be the biggest legal fight of his life. The indictment describes F not just as a rap collective, but as a criminal syndicate. Federal documents claim it engaged in assaults, murders, and violent extortional under Durk's direction. Members were said to follow his orders without hesitation. Violence was the brand. One co-conspirator allegedly handled travelodging and logistics funding. Everything through Durk linked American Express accounts. Durk himself was in California days before. The hit staying in a rented house with core members, tightening the noose around his role in the alleged conspiracy. But just when the case looked airtight, a betrayal shattered Durk's inner circle. A trusted affiliate, someone deep in the ranks, turned informant. In the rap world, loyalty is everything. But now, the leak is coming from inside the house. Some fans think Durk already knew his songs, Pellucid and Risky, are now being reanalyzed for coded warnings bars about distrust setups and snakes in the grass. The charges and rumors have cast a dark shadow over Durk's entire legacy. Even 50 Cent, a master of the industry's darkest games, spoke out in an interview with the Breakfast Club. 50 said, "Just watch your crew." The two had worked together on PowerBook or Force, a spin-off set in Chicago. And 50 claims he saw the sign, "Surly, yo, this is them, just watch him, his crew." 50 said, when asked what Durk said, back he told me, "Somebody just came in my house, how'd they even know the address? I don't even know it myself." That shook him. Back in 2021, Durk's home in Brazelton, Georgia was broken into, while he and India Royale were inside. They escaped, but the message was clear. Someone on the inside gave up the location to 50. It was déjà vu. He said, "If you got pulled over, and you're not in jail, why are you not in jail?" The vape wasn't right, and all signs began, pointing to one man, Jam. A long-time affiliate Jam had done over a decade, behind bars for attempted murder. He was supposed to be solid loyal, but when he got out in 2022, whispers started, and now sources say Jam flipped. He's allegedly working with the feds, feeding them everything from flights to hotel rooms, from burner phones to wire transfers. Jam gave them the blueprint. He even wore a wire capturing's murder, or higher plot, including the killing of Lupab, Quando Rondo's cousin A, hit believed to be revenge for King Von's death. What once felt like brotherhood is now one of the ugliest betrayals in rough history. Then came the fuel, a video featuring DJ Academics. And Chicago-based reporter Trench's News Academics claimed Jam's baby mama called Durk for help, and Durk ignored her. Jam allegedly said, "You're not supposed to brush off my call when I need something." Trench's News responded, "That's facts. That slight might have been the last straw." Even Whack Hunter jumped in. He said, "Jam was solid. Did 12 years, got out clean, gave him cars. Gave him 50K. He had no smudge on his name. But eventually, he flipped and Jam didn't. Just talk. He mapped it. All flights, guns, codes, surveillance, audio, everything." DJ Jerry Jam reminisced about the early days with Durk, describing how Durk's music kept him grounded during his 12 years in prison. "I remember Durk was making rap songs for our parties," he said, painting a picture of Durk as a leader who uplifted his people and kept F together. "That was bro back before the fame and the money he made a way for me to be straight." Yet despite this, Brotherhood, Jam's flip exposed Durk tune of the harshest betrayals in rough history. Rumor has it the betrayal was sparked by Durk not showing Jam the loyalty he expected, perhaps feeling overlooked or disrespected. Whatever the reason, Jam's choice left Durk vulnerable. Since Durk's arrest, rumors have swirled, especially on TikTok, claiming the Chicago rapper could face the electric chair. Viral posts, like those from user Indecisive Quan, joked, "Durk getting the electric chair, who we going to listen to now?" Fueling concern and debate within the hip-hop community. Let's get this straight, Lil Durk is not facing the electric chair. Despite the rumors, there's no official court ruling or announcement, indicating that death penalty charges are on the table. California, where Durk's case is being prosecuted, hasn't used the electric chair in years. In fact, in 2006, federal courts ruled against capital punishment, and Governor Gavin Newsom placed a full moratorium on the death penalty in the state. Durk's legal battle is far from over, but for now, the worst-case scenarios circulating online remain just that rumors. What's clear is that Lil Durk's career and legacy now hang in the balance, with loyalty and betrayal at the center of a story still unfolding. Betrayal stories run deep in the rap game, and 50 Cent recently revealed some chilling advice he gave to Lil Durk as the murder-for-hire case started heating up. During a no-holds-barred interview on The Breakfast Club, 50 recalled telling Durk, "Just watch your crew." The two had worked closely together on Power Book 4, forced the Chicago-based Power spin-off in 2022. And 50 says he immediately sensed something was off. "I was like, yo, this is them. Just watch him crew." 50 said, referring to Durk's inner circle. This wasn't casual. 50's gut told him trouble was brewing. Durk's response: "You know what? Somebody just came in my house. How do they even know my address?" Durk wondered aloud, recalling an unsettling break-in at his Brazelton, Georgia home in 2021, while he and then-girlfriend India Royale were inside. Thankfully, they escaped unharmed, but the fact that people knew his exact locations hook him to the core. For 50, it was déjà vu. He'd been down this road before watching his own crew like a hawk, wary of hidden dangers. "I've always had that energy myself in the middle of everything going on," he explained. And he wasn't joking when he said, "If you got pulled over and you're not in jail, why are you not in jail?" That was a clear message. Something in Durk's camp didn't add up. Rumors quickly focused on one man in particular, Jam, a longtime F member who'd spent over a decade behind bars for attempted murder, a crime that supposedly cemented his loyalty. But since his 2022 release, whispers surfaced that Jam had flipped, wearing a wire for federal agents and feeding them intel on F's operations. According to a Chicago rapper, King Yella Jam didn't just stop there. He allegedly implicated Durk in a murder-for-hire plot targeting rapper Rondoriel name Tyken Bowman. Jam reportedly connected Durk to the killing of Lou Pabrondo's cousin. A hit said to be retaliation for the murder of King Vaughn, a close friend and EF member. What began as brotherhood unraveled into one of the most devastating betrayals in rap history. Hip-hop insiders and fans piece together the puzzle. Of viral video featuring DJ Academics and Chicago reporter Trench's News added fuel to the fire, revealing that Jam's baby mama had reached out to Durk for legal help, only for Durk to brush off the call. Jam, feeling disrespected, reportedly said, "You're not supposed to brush off my call when I need something." Oh! Trench's News confirmed this with a blunt, "That's facts." Jam's bitterness toward Durk might have pushed him toward cooperation with the feds. Music industry veteran Wack 100 weighed in, too, reflecting on Jam's shocking transformation from loyal soldier to alleged snitch. He described Jam as someone who'd kept it real during his 12-year prison stretch, never ratting or folding under pressure until now the indictment reveals a chilling picture. Durk and his crew used coded messages to plan the murder, for hire, booking flights, hotels, and rental cars, under fake names financed with F's credit cards. All to stay off Theradar. Surveillance footage caught affiliates tailing Rondo in Los Angeles before the fatal hit that killed Lup. But none of this deterred Jam. Wearing a wire, he documented every move down to which cars were rented, what flights were booked, every conversation, building a blueprint for the feds that ultimately brought down Durk and FDJ Jerry. Jam recalled their early days, painting Durk as a leader who kept the crew together with his music and loyalty. But even that history wasn't enough to keep Jam faithful. Rumor has it Jam flipped after Durk didn't show him the loyalty he felt he deserved, whether that was feeling overlooked, disrespected, or something deeper remains unclear. But that choice marked one of the harshest betrayals the rap game has ever seen. Now, Lil Durk faces a future clouded by uncertainty and legal battles. Durk's recent arrest shook the hip-hop world and sparked wild rumors, especially on TikTok, where users speculated he might even face the electric chair. Posts like one from Indecisive Quan claimed, "Why be in jail, thug in jail? Durk getting the electric chair. Who we going to listen to?" Now let's be clear. Those rumors are just that, rumors. There's no official court ruling or word that Durk is facing the death penalty. California hasn't used the electric chair in years. The federal government halted capital punishment in 2006, and Governor Gavin Newsom placed a full moratorium on the death penalty in 2019.